our very esteemed. All right. So Ron Childers, he is the chief meteorologist with WMC TV. And you need to watch him. He's at night on the WMC, 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and 10 o'clock. So catch his weather cast. He's a native Memphian. He's a second generation Mexican American. Ron's broadcasting career began in Memphis radio in the early 1980s on a station that we're very familiar with, WRVR. Who knew? And then on to WMC FM 100. We've seen a lot of changes with that.
Right.
And in 1989, Ron moved from radio to television as a marketing and promotion producer. I'm trying to read here. Lynn sent me this. So let's see. In the mid-90s, Ron pursued weather full-time and went on to get his certificate of broadcast meteorology from Memphis State University. Ron's 20-year plus forecasting experiences include working through some of the most memorable storms that we've seen in this area. In 2005, Ron was honored by the National Academy of Television Arts and Sciences with an Emmy nomination for Best Weathercast. And in 2010, Ron was again nominated for an Emmy for his weekly weather web that is on actionnews5.com. And there's a whole lot more about Ron, and he can talk with you, try to get a one-on-one with him. And I'm going to introduce now Ron Childers of WMC TV. Come on down.
Thank you very much. I had no idea this group met, and I sit here and I think all of the things that ail our city, everybody that needs to fix it is here, and that's absolutely amazing. What a great group! I'm honored to be here. Thank you very much. Yeah, I am the chief meteorologist at Action News 5. For those of you who may watch something else, I don't know. Anyway, my job is basically to tell you what the weather is going to be, just so you know what to wear, right? That's the bottom line. So basically I predict the future for a living. But look, we live in an area where weather can kill you. I mean, let's be honest. We have serious weather events here. And if the weather doesn't try to kill you, the tree in your front yard may try to do the same thing. So that has certainly been the case, and especially this year, it's been very active. But I want to ask you all one question, and this question has come to mind over years of going through after storms have moved through the area and seeing what people have dealt with and what they're having to really face as a calamity impacts either themselves personally or their community. But the simple question is, what if you had to leave your house in 30 seconds? What would you take? Think about it. 30 seconds. And that's not just for a weather-related event. Let's say there's a fire or your home takes on water, there's a flood. If there's an earthquake. I took a class, and by the way, I went to Mississippi State, got my meteorology degree, but there was a class I took called Natural Hazards. I didn't sleep that entire semester. You think of all the things that can kill you. And it's absolute. Mother Nature wants us dead, folks. But we can prepare. And I was so encouraged by listening to some of you this morning. You're all about preparation, being prepared. That is so important. And what you may not know is you and so many other people in our city are not. So what if you had to leave your house in 30 seconds? What are you going to take? Well, I'm going to show you. It's all in this fact. If I had to leave in 30 seconds, I'm grabbing mine. My wife is grabbing hers. This is it. When Emily was living with us, my daughter, she had one as well. So what I'm going to do is unpack this. I have sent a list to Lynn. That will come up in the chat of all the things in this to help you assemble it. It is not, this is my emergency backpack. But everyone should have one, and it should be designed and customized for you and your family and your needs. All right. So here we go. let's say hypothetically, there's a fire. If there's weather, I'm gonna be at work, I'm not gonna have to worry about leaving, I'm there, okay? But let's say at my house, in the middle of the night, there is a fire. What do? You gotta get out, and you've got about 30 seconds to go. Got my emergency backpack. I keep this under the bed on my side of the bed. So if I do have to go in the middle of the night, I grab it and I'm on my way. Cool thing about the bag, I can use it to break a window to get out if need be. It's got a little weight to it. By the way, when you put one of these together, you don't want to put one together that's going to cause you to fall over or not be able to move. And that's easy to do. But everything that I need to survive 72 hours is in this backpack. We saw that in Katrina. A lot of people left their homes during that hurricane. They went to the Superdome with what they had on. They were thinking, hey, Superdome, they've got concessions, they've got this, they've got that. They had nothing. That was just shelter. And that very same instance could possibly happen to anybody in this room. You end up with a shelter. What are you going to do? We can't always rely on someone to immediately come and help us out. I think we all know that. You have to be able to take care of yourself and provide for yourself. And 72 hours is that period that it typically takes for first responders, emergency responders, government agencies to come in, assess an area, and then start offering help. You've got to be able to stay alive during that time period. So here's what we have, the emergency backpack. Let's start unpacking it, shall we? First thing, as I mentioned, if I am sleeping at night, fire, I got to break the window and get out. Well, there's going to be broken glass, right? I don't know about you, but I don't sleep in my shoes. So you're going to need something to protect your feet. These are beach shoes. You can find these at any discount shoe place. And by the way, everything in here is inexpensive, minimal cost, but necessary. Something to protect your feet. I wore these on the beaches of Panama, and those are rocky beaches indeed, lava formed beaches, and they protected my feet beautifully. The cool thing about them, they're somewhat lightweight and compact. I can put them in here as opposed to a pair of boots or tennis shoes. So beach shoes, something to protect your feet. Then, I don't know about you, but not everybody sleeps fully clothed, right? So some of us in more, some of us in less. But you do have to leave, you gotta have something to wear. First thing you're gonna need, pair of pants. So I threw some gym pants in here. I put in stretchy pants because I don't know about you, but occasionally I fluctuate right here. I don't want to put a pair of jeans in there that fit me today and don't in 6 months. These are perfect. Then you're going to need a shirt, something to cover you up there. I put in a long sleeve cotton shirt. All right, cotton. If it's hot, it's going to absorb. It's going to help to keep you cool. Also, long sleeve. If it's a cold season, you want as much covering your body as possible. But these long sleeves can also serve another purpose. If it's summertime, what have you, it's hot, you can cut these sleeves, and because it's cotton, these can be used for bandages, tourniquets, what have you. This one sleeve has a multi-purpose. Also, my wife won't let me wear this in public, so it goes in my bag. So there's that. Next, water. Got to have water. In my backpack, I've got 2 bottles of water. I switch these out about every 6 months. You can tell I need to do that again. But I've got 2 bottles of water. You've got to ration this. But also, I've got an empty water bottle that if I can find a water source, I can fill up. My wife has one. Hers is collapsible, and it forms its, I think it holds like a quart of water. So we each have 2 bottles and then something to contain water in case we find a water source. Then first aid, got this at Walgreens, first aid kits, very basic. It's got some bandages, it has some aspirin, a couple of other things in here. But I got this, believe it or not, at Big Lots. I love Big Lots. There's a lot of great stuff in there. Joyce has one in hers. It's a little more complex. It can do sutures, but I carry this one, the just really quick emergency first aid kit, hers, in case someone is injured or ourselves are injured a little more significantly. It has some larger patches, and there are some other things in there that will help us deal with that. Also, whoops, I just dropped this. Let me grab this because this is very important. If you have to move debris, let's say there's a big tree out there, all right? In this bag, I keep in another Ziploc bag, these leather gloves. These are heavy duty work gloves. You don't want to injure yourself. That is so important. If something happens, you've got to peel away sheet metal. You've got to move boards with nails, what have you. You want to be able to move it, but protect your hands as well. Then you've got to worry about eye care. There's stuff flying through the air, anything like that. Protect your eyes. I got these at Lowe's or Home Depot, I believe, right there in the tool aisle. They were all on sale and cheap. Then COVID, everybody should have one of these, an N95 mask. This is in the event of if there is a fire, if there's smoke, if there is a chemical spill or a hazmat situation, you're going to want to cover your face. So the N95 mask, throw it in there. I put this all in one bag because this is my, I got to get moving and do some stuff bag right here. Next, I've got a little rope. It's 50 feet of nylon rope. It's lightweight. You don't know what you'll use it for, but it's better to have it and not need it than need it and not have it. And again, I think I paid $1.99 for that, but this can be used to secure things, tie things down, string things along, what have you. Orange spray paint. This is only in mine. You're probably wondering, what in the world? Why do you need this? It's highly reflective and fluorescent. When first responders come through a neighborhood, the first thing they're doing is going door to door. Who needs help? Who is trapped? What have you? If you're in a situation where you got out of your home quickly, you can go in and mark your yard or your door safe, or oftentimes first responders will come through and put a circle with an X on it. That means that they've gone through, nobody's in there. If you need help or someone in your home needs help, you can also spray SOS in your front yard or help. It can be seen from the sky. You can spray this on your house, your door, any object that may be outside to draw attention. So this is either going to let first responders know that you're okay, move on to someone who needs help, or help us, we're here, please come in now. Next thing I've got, duct tape. I saw a kid make a prom dress out of duct tape. Right? You didn't do anything with this. And again, it's one of those things that if you don't need it, great, but it's better to have it and not need it than to need it and have it. But this serves a myriad of purposes. And also duct tape can be used if there is somebody who is injured significantly, you need to wrap bandages around them or what have you. This is going to apply pressure. It can be used in first aid. It can be used to help you recover or just do about anything. Then going through here, these come in handy, especially now. This is a power inverter. All right, this will plug into your car, cigarette lighter on your car. Many cars still have them. For those that don't, Joyce has one that has little alligator clips on hers. This will run your refrigerator. Plugs right into your cigarette lighter, start your car. There's a plug right here. You can plug a power strip into that, and then it has, this does 175 watts. This one will run, excuse me, it's 350 watt peak, but it powers 175 watts of products. A light is like 10 watts. A fan is 20 watts. So you got to add it all up and keep, thank you very much for that. But this will help you power something, all right? So that's very important. Then you're going to need communication. This is called a Grundig weather radio. Cool thing about it, you can use batteries or you can charge it. You can crank it like this. You've always got power. This has AM, FM, television, and the ham radio, as well as NOAA's emergency broadcast channel and the weather service radio station. So that is in there.
Does that got a light on the front?
It's got a light as well, yes. So you can also signal somebody. Where did I turn that on?
What's that called again?
It's called the Grundig Weather Radio. So Grundig Weather Radio. Where did you turn the light on this? I forget. Anyway, there is a there we go. Yeah. You need to signal somebody or you need a little light, boom, you've got that. Then you need something to eat. Power bars. All right. So I got 6 power bars in here. You can limit, one of these is a meal replacement bar. They last forever. They're not the tastiest thing in the world, but you can put them in your bag. Again, they last forever. You've got food, you've got water. Very important. If you have medication that you have to take every day, you're going to need to take that with you. Ever since I took Dave's job, I now take a blood pressure medication. So I know I need that. I've got a 5-day supply in here. I also wear contacts. So I've got a contact case with an extra set of contacts, and I've got a little saline solution. Saline solution can be used to clean out wounds as well. Then, garbage bag. Think of what? When I was down in Mississippi, we had some tornadoes that came through just before Christmas, right around 2015. And I saw a couple, and their mobile home was just rolled. It was in shambles behind them. And they were walking around just gathering up what they could. That was pretty much it. Garbage bag. Have something to put anything that you can collect in. Also, if it's raining, you can cut a hole in this, in the sides. You got a little poncho that's going to keep you dry. And it is very important that you stay warm and you stay dry. I've got some tissues in here. Then batteries. You never know when you need. I've got the batteries for the radio. I've got another flashlight in here as well. Also, the battery can be used. You can take a piece of chewing gum wrapper and fold it long ways and put one end on the battery, on one end of the battery and one on the other end of the battery. That chewing gum wrapper will ignite in the middle. You can start a fire. So a battery can be used to start a fire. Then glow sticks. Everything's a dollar store. You're thinking, what? When the power goes out, it gets dark in here. It gets very dark. So you need something at night so people can see you, or if you need to get attention, glow stick, pop it, it glows green. You can get attention or let people know you're there. I've also got, I found these and I thought, you know what? I don't know what I could do with it, but it's kind of a cool, it's lightweight, it's a twisty thing. This would also make a great tourniquet and will hold. If somebody's bleeding out, you can use it for that. If you need to tie something down, they're wired. They're covered in rubber. It's wired, covered in rubber, but it's just another tool that you may need. Hydrogen peroxide, cleaning wounds. Hydrogen peroxide also has a myriad of other uses, but you need some sort of antiseptic in the event of being wounded. Again, that's the thing. You don't want to get wounded because infection sets in, and within 3 days, if you're not getting medical attention, you could be in really, really deep trouble. So it's important to have that. We have cats. If we can catch the cats, I've got a little food. The dog's coming with us. JP's got his food in her bag. We got an extra pair of scissors as well, just in case we need scissors for medical, scissors to cut the rope, or anything else. Then, one of the things I've talked to people about is, what is it that you wish you had? They always say 2 things. I wish I had my pictures and I wish I had my Bible. All right. Well, the picture situation is right here. All of the pictures that we love, cherish, don't want to lose, we've scanned them. Takes some time, but they're all burned onto this CD. Also, I've got a complete backup for my computer. About every 6 months, I go through, back up any new documents, throw it all in there. It's all right here on the flash drive. And then all of our important documents, birth certificates, marriage license, insurance certificates, your deed to the home, all of these important documents, they're scanned and either on here. I've got some other documents on here as well. So portraits, pictures, we don't want to lose. Right here, all our information. Then when a natural disaster happens in a neighborhood, first responders go in and cordon it off. Unless you can prove that you live there, they're not going to let you in or anywhere near it. So here I have a copy of my driver's license and my passport. All right, copy of the passport, copy of the driver's license. I can show this to first responders and go, that's my house, there's the address on there. This is who I am. All right, so you have proof of identification and your valuables. So computers, you're not always going to be able to grab it, right? That's that pocket. Now let's take a look at this pocket. Oh yeah, I got a lot of stuff in here. By the way, don't have my Bible, but I got my rosary. All right. Sometimes there's nothing you can do but pray. Walgreens poncho. I got this. These are $1.99. All right. So this is going to provide some protection for you in the event that you're out in the elements. This is a Mylar blanket. These are great. They hand these out after 5 pays oftentimes. I'm on the thing there.
Sorry.
So they hand these out after 5 pays. The wonderful thing about this, if it's cold, you can wrap this around your body. This can be used to retain some heat. It can also, it's Mylar. It can also be used to make a shelter. You can, with a combination of these, this, even some duct tape and the scissors, I could put together a lean-to very quickly. So you've got some sort of shelter over your head. Temporary, but yes, shelter indeed. Next, cell phone charger. Cell phone's by the bed, but what if it's on its last bar? I've got the charger with me, and by the way, that will plug into my inverter, and I can use it to charge there. Joyce has a thing on hers that it's a flashlight with the little hand turner thing, and it's got a plug in for a cell phone, so you can plug a cell phone into that. I don't know how long you'd have to turn that to charge a cell phone. I don't want to find out, but there's that. I've got a notepad. This is just in case I need to take notes. If public officials are out there and saying, here's who you call for services, a pen, a pad, this is where you need to go. Then I've got, how many of you have one of these in a drawer somewhere and you don't even know what to do with it? You probably got 20 of them. Multi-purpose tools. Throw it in your backpack. This is pliers, a knife. You've got a file. There's so many different things in here. Again, a tool that you may need, but it's better to have it and not need it than need it and not have it. Next, flashlight. Yes, you want to have a flashlight. You can be able to see your way, draw attention, what have you, but you want a flashlight. Don't put a big, huge, honking, heavy flashlight in there. This is bright, shines brightly. You got to change the batteries every 6 months or so because this will lose its charge. Then I've got, this is reflective tape. It goes on your mailbox. And I thought, you know what? If it's at night, you can take a strip of this and put it down your side of your arm or in front of you on your back. As you're coming around with searchlights, it's going to reflect. They're going to see it. If you're having to walk down a dark road in the middle of the night, you're going to be reflective. You're going to be seen because the clothes in my bag are dark. You want to be able to be seen. Next, got matches and a lighter in case I need to start a fire, stay warm or whatever. Matches, lighter, very important. Next, another multi-purpose tool that's going to come in handy, little Swiss Army knife. I threw that in there. Then that will get your attention. You guys remember in Titanic when they were coming by to save people and Rose had to swim over and get the whistle and you know, after we had lost Jack and everybody's still wide awake. But she was able to get attention. So if you're in a confined area, you can't get out. That's going to draw some attention your way. Then, where is my next one? Whoops. Joyce may have gone through my bag. I don't know. But
Stealing stuff already.
okay, yeah, it's gone. So I had, and I don't know what to do. Oh, by the way, I've got a thing with my numbers, important phone numbers. How many of you remember your kid's phone number, right? Write it down. Write it down, put it in a piece of paper so that you have it with you. One of the other bags I had, I guess I don't have it here. I don't know what happened to it. It was a bag of money. Cash. There we go. Cash. Had that one tucked away. All right. So look, it's ones and fives. Don't fill it with 20s, because if somebody's out there and you need water and they're selling bottles of water and all you got is a 20, guess how much that water's going to cost? $20. Okay. So small bills. Because in an emergency, it's sad to say, a lot of people come out to make money.
Yeah.
They're not there to help you. They're there to benefit themselves. I got to appreciate the hustle, but you got to take care of yourself. So money, you need that. Then finally, oh, I got a Sharpie. You never know if you need to make a sign, what have you. Find a piece of cardboard, help. A magic marker. Just threw that in the bag. Finally, deck of cards. When I was at when I was in Mississippi and I went through there, I went to a church after we had met with some folks, and the church was serving as basically a command station for the people in the neighborhood to come in, and there were people there who could direct them to services and agencies. But a lot of time is just spent waiting. Well, there was a group of guys, everybody else just, you felt so sorry for them because the looks on their face said it all. But there were a group of guys in the back, and they were smiling, they were laughing, they were playing cards. And one of the guys said, well, before today, I'd never met these three guys, but I don't see how we'll ever not know each other from this point on. But a deck of cards brought them together. A deck of cards helped them pass the time. So that helped them tremendously. That's my backpack. There it is. Fits all in. I can throw it in. If I have to leave in 30 seconds, I've got food, I've got water, I've got medical, I've got communication, I've got all my valuables, I've got a backup to my computer, I've got everything I need to get through 72 hours until somebody can get there to help me. Think about it, put together the backpack that would work for you, but make sure everyone in your home has one. If you have children, put their favorite blanket or a toy, something to occupy them, put in their clothes. They have special needs for foods, medications, things like that. You want to put that in their backpack. So everyone should have one. Everyone should know where it is, and everyone should be able to grab it and be out of the house in 30 seconds. The only thing you need to know, where is everybody going to gather? Because if it is in the middle of the night, something happens, you got to go, people scramble. Where does the family gather? Find either a location in your neighborhood, in your yard. We're all going to meet out by the big tree. Practice it. Have little drills. Make it fun for you and your family, especially if you have kids. They'll really get into it. All right. And just let them know things can happen, but we're prepared. Here's where we're all going to gather. Here's where we're going to rally, and we're going to be okay. We've got plenty of stuff to get us through. So, ladies and gentlemen, that is Ron Childers' emergency backpack. I worked in conjunction with a gentleman who was with Shelby County EMA several years ago. And we just had a conversation. He goes, Ron, 99% of the people in this community are not prepared for anything. And they all think that the moment it happens, somebody's going to be there in 30 minutes to help them out. It's not the way it works. It's not. Sad but true. And you guys have seen it with power going out days on end. Power goes out days on end. Get one of those inverters. As a matter of fact, they make them anywhere from about 100 watts to as much as 450. And I actually think there's a 1,000-watt generator that's going to run refrigerator, television. It all clamps on the battery of your car. And don't forget, if your car is functional, you can get to it. That's a big generator. Your car is a motor. It's a generator. It can be used to power things if you're prepared. So anyway, ladies and gentlemen, that's what I got for you. Anybody got any questions?
Thanks, Ron.
Put together the temporary shelter real quick.
No, you want to see what's going to be more interesting is how we're going to fit all this back in this bag.
Where'd you get the bag?
I got the bag, believe it or not, Big Lots.
Okay.
All right, Big Lot. And as a matter of fact, most of this came from Everything's a Dollar, Big Lots, and an aisle and Lowe's or Home Depot. Ollie's, yes, exactly. So these are, you don't need to spend $1,000. And by the way, there are companies out there that sell emergency kits, and they've got a bottle of water, they've got a couple of cans of food. You'll get the backpack, but they're about $75 to $100. There's not enough stuff in there to help you when you don't have your documentation, all these other things that you will need, your pictures, photographs, what have you. So I encourage you to do it yourself. The list should be in the chat. I sent it to Lynn, so hopefully she'll be able to pop that up in the chat. And that's just an emergency, a list to just get your emergency backpack started. But think about it. And the reason we find ourselves in trouble is because we haven't taken time ahead to think about it and to see so many planners in this audience this afternoon. You guys are forward thinkers. You're looking ahead on everything. Well, put that same perspective on your safety and the safety and preparedness of your neighbors in your neighborhood. So I encourage you, if you guys have neighborhood groups, get together. Have emergency backpack meetings. How do we, here's something you can do to help yourself, to help the community, because that's when people rally around and help each other. I think I hit my time. Did I do it? I am notorious for going way long every day. I usually hear rap. But thank you all, ladies and gentlemen. It's a pleasure to be here. And wow, I'm really enlightened today. I think I learned more today from you all and just the services you provide than probably what I shared here with you today. So
Well, if you can hang out a few minutes.
yeah,